Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Foxes banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Well then, Mahrez has made something of that. It's Mahrez! 2-0 to Leicester City! Next to him, Anthony Knockout finds Wood. Wood should score! Wood finds Knockout! Yes! Here comes Leicester again with Heskey and Ibbett! Oh, this is incredible! Got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off. Jamie Vardy!
Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube.
Good evening and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for another live stream. We're back again, and today it is to talk about all of the transfer shenanigans that have been going on over the last 24 hours. There are two players in particular that we've spoken about a lot, but now we know the deals are all but done. Before we get into it all, please make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to get your comments in throughout the duration of the stream as well. Manny, what's going on with you, mate? How's things?
Oh, happy to see our pants getting pulled down again. So, yeah, looking forward to get into it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Well, we're going to talk about our pants being pulled down, although that sounds more like a late night Leicester type of subject. Hello to Foss Hub. You've been busy, mate. Hope you're doing well. Let me just bring this up here. There we go. Hello to Scott, Josh, Frankie, Ash, Kunal. Hope you're all doing well. People are talking about Tom from the group chat. He's like the pantomime villain, always causing fucking chaos with bad takes. But no, it's all good, Tom. Right, Manny, we're going to get into it, and then we'll bring some comments up afterwards. So, Mads Hermansen, it is now. I mean, Sky have reported it. Rob Dorsett's reported it. It's a done deal. Mads Hermansen is joining West Ham for £18 million. What is your immediate reaction to that news?
Well, as you know, I went to watch Oasis last weekend. So I've been singing Oasis songs in my head all week. And all I could think of is, what would Liam Gallagher say? It would be, it's a crazy valuation. Absolutely ridiculous fee. £18 million. What planet is this player worth £18 million? He's literally got him half price. And this is a consistent theme with us about mispricing players, whether it's buying them or selling them. The price isn't appropriate for the quality of player at hand. Mads Hermansen is one of the best young keepers in the world. Before injury in the Premier League, he was arguably the very best on-form Premier League keeper until he got his injury. And you'll remember the game against Arsenal where he set, I think it was Premier League record for most number of saves in a game. It was absolutely outstanding. Post-injury, he was forced to play with an injury for the remainder of the season. So we did see a drop-off in performance. But that doesn't mean that there's a drop-off in the quality of the keeper. It's because he was playing with an injury. Now, obviously, we have a PSR situation. We have to sell players. We understand that. But you have to get appropriate fees for the player. This is way, way, way undervaluing Mads Hermansen. And even if, I mean, imagine if we are likely to be there or thereabouts in promotion. If we go to the Premier League, is Mads Hermansen worth anywhere near £18 million? 12 months ago, we were looking for 40, 45 plus. And that is a more realistic figure for the quality of the keeper. You can accept somebody saying, and clearly, and this is the most annoying thing, we've been outmaneuvered by West Ham here. They were using Big Bad John from Botafogo as leverage in this deal.
Big Bad John.
Yeah. And they've absolutely, we've bricked it and we've bottled it. They've threatened to pull out of the deal. It's still early in the window, by the way. And we've bent over and said, okay, we'll accede to your demands. This is not the way to maximise your asset value at all. And anyway, go on, Lox.
I was going to say, and we do know as well from Danish sources that Brøndby also had a 2 million, well, they had a percentage which with the fee works out at £2 million. So actually, £16 million Leicester City will be receiving as part of this deal. They won't be saving incredible amounts of wages. I don't think he wouldn't have been on anything more than 40 grand a week, in my opinion. I don't think. 3 years left on his deal, Manny, as well. This isn't even like it's an Ndidi. Well, Ndidi's a release clause, but you know what I mean. This isn't like a situation where a player's only got a year left, so it's a discounted price. This is John Rudkin under pressure, having to negotiate a deal, and he's been had because, as you just said, Big Bad John in Brazil. West Ham have used that because Leicester have suddenly gone, oh no, they're going to go ahead with this Brazilian goalkeeper. We need money for BSR. Yes, let's just wave the white flag and give them what they want, which is £18 million. It's crazy. And like you said, £40 million a year ago, we told Chelsea. And now it's less than half of that. It's nuts.
In a world where transfer fees are crazy, right? There's players going for mad fees. Such an important, underrated position, goalkeeper. A massive goalkeeper is crucial to a team. Absolutely crucial. There's not many of them that are really, really good. We've just had James Trafford, who is a decent keeper. He's not a bad keeper. But he went for 27, was it? I think £27 million. Mads Hermansen's way better than James Trafford. Way better than James Trafford. So even using that as a benchmark, Mads is 35 to 40. At least, if it was me trying to sell Mads to another club, I would be pitching for beyond 40. Now, people are going to say, oh, yeah, but the second half last season. You're judging a player when he's playing with an injury. When he is fully fit, Mads Hermansen is one of the most talented keepers around in world football. He's got 10 years left at the top level. £18 million. Honestly, the summer was going really well. Okay, Kone went. We've got others rumoured to be leaving. We got the right managerial appointment. That was a crucial part of it. Everything's moving in the right direction, and this is the first error that we've made.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's see some of the comments here. By the way, just so people know, yeah, this is the source about this guy here. It sounds like a fucking KFC chicken fucking type of transfer source. But if you do plug into all the transfer stuff online, you will know that this guy is one of the most reliable people when it comes to West Ham. He's called the Mads Hermansen situation all summer. He is even the one, I think I'm allowed to say this, so sorry if not Fosshub. He is the one who told Fosshub 3 hours before Sky Sports even mentioned it that it was going to be under £20 million, 18 million by Sky Sports 2 hours later. So this guy's reliable. He's the one who's saying that West Ham used Big Bad John as a chip, as a bargaining chip to get Hermansen on the cheap. We also don't know the situation about Hermansen in terms of how much he's been pushing for it. If he has been pushing, it's a little bit disappointing, mate. I mean, increase your standards a little bit, mate. West Ham, really? You're really going to be pushing for a move? Like, you've seen Bilal, who doesn't seem to be pushing for a move to Leeds or anyone like that. But maybe, Manny, the club just really wanted to get rid of him so they could get money in because they knew they had Jakub waiting in the wings. He is more replaceable than a Bilal. If you're gonna,
this is, you've got to play chicken here. There's 3 weeks left of the window. We are not. If you're going to be desperate to sell him, and you want to take a subsidised fee, then you do it last minute. If no bids have come in at all.
What if Leicester's transfer business coming in
is
reliant on this?
I mean, I doubt that we can't find £5 million in our back pocket to put up.
We've not done anything yet.
Knowing that there are still players to be outgoing, we know that they are going out the door. Obviously, a lot of clubs actually they buy the replacement for whoever the player is before they sell the player. So rather than the club saying, you just sold that player for loads of money, we know you've got loads of cash. So if you buy the player before, you get them at a cheaper price. So I don't buy that, and it seems like the timing of it doesn't make sense. I don't think Mads would be screaming for a push to play for Harry Potter at West Ham. Nothing is particularly exciting about that project. That is a firefight, and he'll probably be gone by Christmas anyway. The manager will. Why not do what we argued Bilal might be doing? Hold your nerve. Even if it means, say, actually, I don't want to go to West Ham. I'd rather stick here for 1 year, knowing that when we get promoted, bigger suitors will come in. And he's a high-quality keeper, so bigger suitors will come in. If you go to West Ham, you're stuck there for another 3-4 years, and then David Sullivan's going to play hardball about the fee. I mean, I don't think it's a great move for him, I have to say. I think he's way better than West Ham. So, credit to West Ham. They pulled our pants down. They've got themselves a brilliant keeper, a really, really excellent price. So, bravo and kudos to them. But from our point of view, this is an absolute shocker of a decision to sell him at that price. Wait. There'll be other people. Another keeper will go somewhere and he'll be looked at again. There's still 3 weeks left of the window. Let West Ham get nervous. We know that Graham Potter likes working with English players. We know that he would prefer Mads to Big Bad John. Don't fall into their trap. Let them, even if they do, let them go and buy Big Bad John. Hold your nerve. We'll suck it up and take whatever PSR punishment down the line that comes with it. Mads Hermansen is worth £40 million when he's fully fit in the Premier League. 40 million plus, by the way. And if the trajectory is good and is a solid keeper, then it's even bigger. We are living in an era where keepers can go for £70 million like Kepa. This is... We see these kinds of signs. Onana went for 50 million. Onana! Mads Hermansen's way better than Onana. So... I just end up repeating myself, but it's extremely frustrating to say the least.
And I also think there's way too much recency bias going on, because there are people out there who are saying, oh, well, he's not very good. I mean, look at him in the second half of the season, when we know he was injured and needed surgery. I mean, I always keep saying, look back at the first half of that season. Cooper only lasted 12 games. He wouldn't have lasted 8 if Mads Hermansen wasn't between the sticks. He kept us in a lot of games. I remember, I haven't got it to hand, unfortunately. I remember it's on one of the old Fox's Dens from October or September. We brought up an XG against. It was like Leicester should have conceded like 15 or 10 goals more than we actually did. And we remember the heroics at Emirates. We did lose, but I think the joint most saves in 13. Premier League history in a game.
13 saves.
Level with De Gea, I think. So,
it wasn't just that game. It wasn't just that game, was it? It was every game. The first third of the season, he was the number one on form. Obviously, it's not a whole season yet. For the first third of the season, he was the best keeper in the Premier League. No one else was playing better than him in that league. And that is the big time. And how can you get a keeper, such a hard position, for £18 million, who's got a brilliant attitude, who's still very young, who's brilliant with his feet, who's still got improvement levels to go? I mean, I think this is a real shocker, I'm afraid.
And we've just seen James Trafford move to Man City for £28 million. £28 million. So you're trying to tell me that James Trafford's worth 10 million more than Mads Hermansen? Like, he's not.
He's not worth 1 penny more. In fact, he's worth a lot less than Mads Hermansen.
Well, English tax you take into account. English tax.
People say English tax, but who's the most expensive keeper signed in the Premier League? Kepa, Spanish, 75. Who's the second most? De Gea was a fortune. Onana was a fortune. Alisson was a fortune. So expensive foreign keepers are not always cheap. The 4 most expensive ones of all time were foreign keepers in the Premier League. So I know that there's generally English tax, and that not necessarily applies to James Trafford. So
it does because James Trafford with European competitions, you not only have to have homegrown players, you also have to have a selection of homegrown at club, and he ticks that because he's from their academy. So that does up his price slightly.
Goalkeepers are so crucial. It's so hard to get a good one, and it can be the difference between a lot of points between keeping you up and keeping you down in our case. So, and our fan, you touched upon it. I'm just going to touch upon it quickly. You see a lot of our fans saying, "Oh, it's still a profit. It's not a problem. We still got Jakob's," and some people even saying Jakob's better. Now, I like Jakob. Jakob's a good goalkeeper, but Mads Hermansen's a better goalkeeper. Let's get it straight. That's a fact for a start. And secondly, they're judging Mads on the second half of last season. You cannot judge a player when he's playing with an injury. He's doing you a favour by playing through the injury. He's being asked to. In an ideal world, he should have got surgery immediately. And now he's done it. And you'll see Mads Hermansen, whoever he plays for, he'll have a brilliant season next season, being fully fit. Whoever he plays for, West Ham, us, or somebody else. I just hope that this news spreading out sharpens a few minds, and there's a few phone calls that bigger places than West Ham, saying, hold on, Hermansen's available. As far as I'm concerned, he should be going to Man United, Chelsea. Those kind of clubs should be looking at him.
You know what is a little bit frustrating as well, is that there are probably clubs now who might be interested in Bilal. Sorry, I was just adjusting my volume slightly, lowering it down to your level. There are clubs out there, it's not you, it's me, I'm too loud. There's clubs out there who are interested in Bilal, and they might think, oh, we can get Bilal on the cheap now. Look at, they're selling Mad Simpson for 18 million. This might open the floodgates to low ball offers, mate, for some more players.
Look, you're going to build up a reputation in the business if you have consistently making strange decisions. Let's call it
weak
that.
Negotiators. That's a bad reputation.
We've known for a decade that you can pull Man United's pants down when it comes to transfer fees. The Fred. Do you remember the Fred story was famous? They bid, was it 45 million for Fred? They can't. The people in Ukraine at Donetsk can't believe that it came through that there's a bid of 45 million. They were laughing their heads off. They went, just for a laugh, just ask them for 55, and they went, okay. And then Man United replied, said, yeah, okay, done, 55. You're going to get a reputation for being, easy to deal with. You're, not best in class is how I would put it. Levy has a reputation, whether you like him or not, for being a tough negotiator. Sullivan and Brady the same. You say what you like, and they might overpay at times, they might underpay at times, but they have that reputationally. Reputationally, when we're rumoured to be selling Bilal for less than we paid for Oliver Skip, and now selling Mads for less than we paid for Oliver Skip. I mean, I don't know where these numbers come from. It comes down to your judgment of the player at hand. If you think Mads Hermansen's worth 25 million and we're in a PSR situation and the only bid is 18, so we'll take it, then that's how you've come to that conclusion. But your base starting point was incorrect. Mads Hermansen's not a £25 million keeper. It's got to be 35, 40 plus. And then if you want to have your pants pulled down, you get it reduced to 30. 30 is a pants pulling down price. 18, I don't even know where to put that.
Cheek spread, fist up. That's what
Full
I say.
on, dry, didn't even lube up.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. We're going to talk about another one here, and of course, the next done deal is Wilfred Ndidi to Besiktas. Not confirmed again, just like Mads, not confirmed by the clubs, but as we know, with Turkey being the clubs in Turkey, they have to do everything publicly. Apparently, they've literally documented everything from his flight over to the medical to the site. Crazy. We saw him in a Besiktas shirt before we even knew he was in Turkey, which is mad. But it's done. This isn't a surprise, Manny, because we know that there is a release clause, a relegation release clause of around £9.5 million. People say it's a great price. I disagree with it being a great price, but it's the release clause, Manny. So in that sense, Manny, it is a good price because we've got the clause, right? We've not accepted a lower offer, but it's obviously a low price for a 28-year-old who can play in the Premier League midfielder.
Depends which way you look at it, doesn't it? I mean, in the open market with a long contract and years ahead of him, Wolf would be worth way more than £9.5 million. However, a year ago, we could have lost him for free, and we signed him again, and now we've actually got £9.5 million a year later than we could have lost him for free. And I remember we've had this discussion this year many times. Oh, why didn't people get Wolf on a free? And I remember saying to you at the time, people were asleep. They could have bought Wilfred Ndidi for free, and they didn't.
I don't think so, Manny.
Well, then why would they then pay nearly £10 million a year?
The wages. It's the wages.
The wages will not be significantly less than they were 12 months ago.
No. Less, but with the relegation, he gets 30% cut at Leicester. So he will probably be earning more now on Besiktas than he was at Leicester.
No, I mean from a foreign club's point.
Leicester.
I mean from Besiktas' point of view. Why didn't Besiktas sign him 12 months ago when they could have got him?
Because I think he chose not to. I think Leicester were offering the most wages. This is what I'm saying. I think Leicester in the Premier League offered more wages than a Besiktas would. But now he's getting a 30% wage cut.
I don't know if Besiktas are willing to pay £10 million in a transfer fee. It seems crazy they wouldn't add that to the either wages or a signing on fee to get Wolf in 12 months ago. They're paying more now.
Clubs spoke to him. Sevilla spoke to him.
Yeah, but they're definitely paying whoever buys him, Besiktas or whether it is somebody else later on. They're paying more now than they would have done 12 months ago as a package for short. Oh yeah.
The transfer because they have to pay a fee, right? And it was free. But so, I don't think the wages would be higher than they were a year ago.
No, but they're paying the fee though, aren't they? And he's a year older. But look, I mean, it's sad to see Wolf go. He's been such a rock solid servant for us for such a long time. Part of 2 of our 3 best seasons ever in 5th and 5th. Won the FA Cup. Never been one issue off the pitch. Been a conduit to the African lads. Always taking care of them. I'm a personal massive fan of Wolf. I think he's been an underrated player. And I think we'll feel his loss in lots of ways when we see teams ripping through our midfield on transition. Some of us will be thinking Wolf would put that fire out. But you won't be there with those stretchy long legs, chipping up with the odd goal, duffing every 25, 30 yarder that he tries. But he's just lovable, Wolf, smile on his face. I think he's right up there with some of the best players we've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, great servant. He was 19 years old when he came to Leicester. 19 years old. His whole career
is fantastic, huh? I actually think that Wolf deserves kind of testimonial. From 19 years old to nearly 29, we should be having a Wolf day.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, but look, if you do 10-year service, 10-year service gets you a testimonial.
He didn't hit it. He didn't hit it.
Make an exception. The guy's a ledge.
Look, 28 years old. It wouldn't surprise me, Manny, if he did a couple of years in Turkey and then ended up somewhere else. Even back in the Premier League in his 30s. It wouldn't surprise me, mate. It wouldn't surprise me at all. 28's a bit young to go over to Turkey, but again, Manny, I think this shows that there aren't many clubs who were wanting him right now because he would have gone somewhere else. He wouldn't go to Turkey if there were other options willing to pay.
They do. Those big Turkish clubs, they do have a lot of pull. They always end up with the stars of yesterday, don't they? They have done for years. I mean, haven't Galatasaray signed Osimhen this summer again?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can get Osimhen, then of course Besiktas, things like, and they've got Mourinho in the league. They've had great players. They do pay high salaries when you get paid. They definitely do pay you a lot of money there, so they can meet salaries. But it's one of those ones where, yeah, right, you'll probably do it for a couple of years, enjoy the sunshine, and then someone in the Premier League will be in a relegation battle, and maybe we'll pick him back up.
I don't know if this is true, but Anil says apparently tax-free wages in Turkey for footballers. So there you go. Also, lovely weather,
food, great
good food.
Oh.
Kebabs, lots of kebabs.
Really good for your football career.
Although Wilf, I was going to say Wilf should stay off the kebabs, or will end up looking like Nacho. But yeah, I mean, 18. We've talked about. There was just a comment there about Mads. Apologies, I'm 4 minutes behind, but Manny just mentioned Skip and that we could sell Bilal Canoes for less than what we paid for Oliver Skip. Sickens me. Yeah, absolutely. It's the rumoured release clause for El Canoes is £22.5 million.
And even when that's the same problem though. It's a misvaluation of the player at hand. Now the Bilal one is slightly unique in that the agent and Bilal might have insisted.
Yes.
That
Do you know who his agent was?
Probably a Wasserman agent.
His agent, when we signed him, was his mum.
Really? Go on,
his mum.
Good for mum.
His mum stuck in that £22.5 million release.
If she wanted a job at negotiating, we could do with a bit of help, I think. But look, I mean, you have to play hardball back. You cannot sign a player for 20, take all the risk on board, and even if you get relegated, he does well. Just sell him for your money back. You have to put in a 30, 35 million in there at least. Otherwise, the deal doesn't make sense, and you have to be willing to walk away from the deal. And you have to play hardball with mum and say, okay, mum, I'm sorry. Looks like you're staying in Belgium for another year then, because we're not willing to go to 25 million euros for a release clause. It doesn't make financial sense for the risk project. It has to be 30. Otherwise, you have to be prepared to walk away.
Yeah, but no, because last summer we were in a situation last summer, Manny, where we missed out on targets. Like we wanted Sula, for example, who ended up at Roma. We missed out on him. I think we wanted Reece Nelson at one point. We were losing out on targets.
Those players didn't want to come.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Bilal did.
I'm saying we were losing out. We were losing out on players, and I think they, I suppose the question is, what if? What if Bilal's point of view was, I'm having this release clause or I'm not coming.
I'm sure he was.
It's difficult.
I'm sure it was that. It's just that I'm sure it's not about the release clause. It's about the number. You have to negotiate that number to be a higher one. If they insist on 25, then you have to push super hard for 28, 30. Every few million, you have to squeeze that up, and you have to present the honest case of saying, if we do go down and Bilal does go, this is what it will cost us. In everything, we can't work on the basis of just getting our money back. We rely on player trading and making a profit, and Bilal's a high quality player. He'll be worth that fee. Everyone will pay that fee, so you don't need to stress.
It all depends, doesn't it? If the club thought, okay, this guy is going to be important in staying up, this guy could keep us up or be a part of keeping us up, then it's that, you can't blame the club for that, I don't think.
What about if I reversed it to you today? Say if there's a really good, let's say Max Dowman, right? Let's say Max Dowman, Arsenal are up for selling him for 20 million, but Max Dowman we're in the Premier League, of course, and then there's a relegation fee, but Max Dowman says, I want a £20 million release clause. Do you sign him for that 1 year and do it anyway? You probably do. But in an ideal world, you recognise that you've got a really good talent on your hands, and if everything works out, at the end of the day, if Bilal has a bad season, no one's going to pay anywhere near 30 million anyway, so you take your money back. But if he has a good season, he's definitely going to be worth more than you paid for him, right? So I just don't see the point of that particular number being what it's rumoured to be, but maybe it isn't, so you never know.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a release clause in Skip's contract.
Let's bring the comment from Scott up.
Here. There it is. Use your negotiating skills to...
That's going to be a tough sell, mate. That's a tough one, that is, 30 million lira, maybe, but pounds, going to struggle.
Lira.
But that is the problem, is that if you don't know what the talent of a player, how to quantify that into a numerical value.
This is something you need to remember, Manny. I'm sure you already know this, but it is a relegation release clause with Bilal. It's not just a normal release clause.
Of course, and I understand that, but the whole premise is...
And it expires on the 15th of August.
Bilal's the only concern about coming to Leicester in the first place was likely to be in a relegation battle. If we get relegated, I probably don't want to play in the Championship, and I don't want you guys to make it hard for me to leave. So if it's the same price as what you paid, then, I should be safe in that regard. And they're probably just going to go, okay, fair enough. But you have to push back harder and say, look, as a business, we have to we're taking you on as a risk. You could get injured. You might not work out. But if you do work out and it works in our favour, then we need to be rewarded appropriately.
You'd hope that these things were spoken about, Manny, and that this was the only option to get him in. This was the only way to get him in. I would
like to think that it was that Mum played very... don't play Mum at poker, basically. She knows what she's doing. And there was no pushback at all.
Mum pulled Mr. Rudkin's pants down.
Yes, in a way, yes. I suppose so.
Right.
Maybe likes it.
She ran a mile after she saw what's down there. Right. Let's move on to a potential incoming still going on. And of course, this man is still being spoken about, Richard Kone. Now, the recent development, Manny, is allegedly, from the Wickham side, allegedly they have lowered their asking price for Richard Kone because he's only got a year left on his contract. Apparently, he is available £3.5 million. Now, I said it was a no-brainer at £5 million, Manny. Of course, I'm saying the same thing now. £3.5 million for a striker who scored 18 goals in his first full season in professional football after doing a step up from the Essex Premier League to League One. With us knowing that the step up from League One to the Championship isn't massive, this just makes sense, doesn't it, mate?
Yes, and the signing makes sense, of course. But there's two ways of when to do it and how much to pay. Now, if I was to put my fan hat on, I would say it's 3.5, it's 5. Who cares? It's nothing. Don't quibble about £1 million. Get it done. Get him in. We've got a game on Sunday. Let's get him in. Let's start rocking. But if I was the business hat of me, would say he's got a year left. He knows we're interested, clearly, right? Now that you know Leicester are interested, unless somebody bigger than Leicester, that means nobody in the Championship. So unless a Premier League club come in for him, which they're not going to. So this is the biggest show in town that he can get. His mind is made up. Leicester's where I want to go. I could be in the Premier League, likely to be in the Premier League inside 12 months. I don't want to go to Swansea. I don't want to go to anywhere else now that I know Leicester are interested. Now that you have confirmed you're interested in him, and they know that they're going to lose him for a free. They don't want a guy who's going to be stroppy all season. I could have gone to Leicester. You played hardball. I'd, throw his arms up, or even do a Mahrez or a Fofana, right? So the later you leave it in the window, that price should go down. If you really want to play hardball, you put the squeeze on them, leave it till the last week, and you keep behind the scenes telling Kone, don't worry, we're coming, it's coming, don't worry. It's Wickham have got to lower their level. We need the money, we've got PSR problems, we've got to save every penny we can do. And you could probably end up getting for 2.5 million. But the fan part of me does say it's £1 million, £2 million, whatever it is, just do it.
Yeah, I agree. He is raw. He's a raw player. Nobody's saying, even me, who's proper glazing him, I'm not saying that this guy is, an incredible footballer, right? He's not. He's not an incredible footballer, but he knows where the goal is. He's quick, he's physical. And I'm just going to bring this up, Manny, because we've done it before, so we'll do it again just whilst we talk. But I think, again, for such a low price, for somebody who's going to be low on wages as well, I think I just don't understand why we wouldn't do it, to be honest with you. As I said, he could easily be a late bloomer as well. 21 he was when he first had his professional debut. I just can't really understand. Look at this finish here, by the way. Oh, no, it's not there. It's on the next one. But I just really can't understand why we wouldn't do it, mate. We need numbers. I'm not even saying he's going to start. I mean, it wouldn't surprise. I think this is the goal here. Look at this for a finish. Boom. I just think, mate, that even if he doesn't start games, as another number, as another option, are you going to get somebody anywhere else for £3 million, £3.5 million like this? I don't think you will. The ceiling could be high, and it could be low, but it could be high, and it's cheap.
You really don't need to even sell it that hard, Locks. It's a low transfer fee and relatively low wages. Coming from League One to Championship, I'm guessing he's going to end up on 25 a week. Maybe 20, 25 a week. I'm guessing somewhere in that ballpark. So you're paying him £1 million a year in wages then, or £1.5 million a year in wages. The whole package over 3-4 years is maximum £10 million. If this guy fails, you'll still be able to sell him to somebody for £3-4 million. You don't lose that much because you won't pay the full 10 million anyway. If he succeeds, then obviously you've got a high upside. He's 22, he's big, he's strong, he's mobile, he's got good quality touch, both feet, he can finish. He's definitely raw. So there'll be clumsy moments at time and he'll duff things. There you go. That good timing. But he fits the profile of the player we're looking for. And we need also, we need not just one striker. I think we need two. Because, I don't think we're planning on using Daka too much, who's in his last year himself. Maybe they'll do how about a straight swap? Daka for Kone. Hey, Daka, do you fancy going to League One for your Patson? Score a lot of goals?
I can't see that happening.
Worth a try.
I can't see. Yeah, definitely worth a try.
But I'm going to mention it every opportunity again until the window closes. If there's a chance we can still get Eli Junior Krupi, I want Eli Junior Krupi on loan for a year. I think that player is electric. But at this price, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's look at some of the comments, what people are saying here. So. The new Vardy, get him signed. Ragsy says, absolute steal, just get it done. When you have someone stable and proven in IU as a backup, it makes it very risk-free, especially considering his value. I mean, I keep saying, I actually don't think Richard Kone, if he came in next week, I don't think he would start the first couple of games. Jordan Ayew's done enough in pre-season to deserve that spot. I'm not saying bin him off IU.
Question for you, though. how much of this is because he was your choice in the scouting show report that you just want to say?
But that's why I wanted him. That's why I put him into.
Be honest. Be honest now. Be honest now. Do you want to go around saying they picked my player? Don't you?
That's why I wanted. That's why I put him in the scouting report, because I believed that it would be a great signing. I mean, back then his value was like $1 million at that point.
I mean, I never want a Leicester player to fail, but if he did fail, I would so enjoy, looking at you. You remember when Ragsy was pushing for Ruud van Nistelrooy really hard? He's got that black mark against his name forever. And
it's all right. We've got hours of footage where you've also agreed with getting this guy in, so it's fine.
I like this guy. It's the price. It's the price, isn't it? Everything is a value proposition. Is the player, the package, the transfer fee, the age, the salary, the bonuses, the add-ons, the insurance, the agent's fees, the attitude, everything combines into a value proposition. And
do you remember that Edu video? It was like he had three things. It was like age, it was salary, and it was performance. And he scored 18 goals last season.
I don't need Eddie to tell me this stuff. I've been saying this stuff from minute one. Anybody with a bit of logical brain can work that stuff out. What you're trying to look for is limited downside and the highest possible upside. That's how you do risk management. You judge the value proposal. That's why if you can judge the quality of a player, you can judge whether a fee is a bargain or not. And that's something that we really need to work on.
Talking of black flags, mate, somebody says there is a YouTube short of Manny singing Ruud's name.
I was supporting our new signing, but my choice was... Who was my choice, do you remember? Big Willie.
Carlos Vicens. Yeah.
It was Big Willie. Big Willie Caballero.
Carlos Vicens, was it?
Carlos Vicens has gone to Braga now, yeah.
Yeah.
He was my backup, yeah. He's gone to Braga. Fourth in the Portuguese league last year.
Yeah. But yeah, I was going to say this would be more heartbreaking if somebody signed Bamei and he was shit. But no, Daniel Bamei, what's the update? I don't really have an update. I mean, he won an award in Nigeria for like best youngster or something the other week I saw, or like African players.
Can we please, if someone from the club is watching, can we just get the kid in for a 2-week trial? I tell you what, blue tinted glasses will pay for his flights and accommodation. That means I'll end up paying for it, not you. Look at his face when I said that.
Big shout out to our sponsors, Match Bingo.
Listen, that's what happens when you ask Locks to put his hand in his pocket. It spits the dummy out, look, straight away. Just get the kid for a 2-week trial. We'd like a little video just to see the guy coming over. Let him train with the squad for a couple of weeks. If he's good enough, anyway, offer him a youth contract or send him to Leuven, for a trial and see if he can get a gig at Leuven. We'd love to give this guy, we think he has got some talent and he's available for as close to zero as you're going to get a decent quality professional football. Pretty much zero. You cannot, we were just talking about value proposals, right? You cannot get much, a lower value than almost zero. Zero transfer fee, zero signing on fee, and wages will be, well, the guy's got to live, so let the guy live. But if it's trial. We want a trial for Daniel.
This is true about Vardy, but about Kone. Like, if you watch Vardy's first season at Leicester, you would say similar things like raw, doesn't look like a great player, and look what he turned out to be. Some people are just late bloomers. I mean, have you seen my facial hair? I think I'm a late bloomer.
You're still trying to grow a beard, aren't you? It's not that we don't mind raw. We're looking for raw. That's actually where you find a bargain. If the guy wasn't raw, his transfer fee would be triple.
Manny likes it raw.
Absolutely. Monday Night Raw. That's what I tell the wife. Hey, sorry.
Monday Night Raw.
His name is John C.
We've gone late like Leicester too early.
Black flag.
Yeah, absolutely. Race stopped. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, these kinds of things is we're getting close, aren't we? We're getting close to the end, and we want to get our business done now. We've had Asmir Begovic only come in, and we always want to see at least one new fresh face in, and it looks like Richard Kone will be our man. But hey, look, our scouting show, I'll stand by them. I think we put in some good recommendations in all positions in those. If we're looking for a centre back, a left back, a midfielder, I've got people in mind.
Yeah. There was another comment here I wanted to bring up, just going back to the Hermansen stuff. 18 mil for Mads is disgusting, worth at least 30 to 35. We're not saying, Peter, stop taking it so deep. We're not saying that Vardy is like Kone is going to be like Vardy. We're just saying it's a similar story in the sense that he came from non-league. He came into League One. I know Vardy was a Championship, but he came into League One in his first full professional season, scored a load of goals. He could be a late bloomer. That's all we're saying. He's quick, right? This is all we're saying. We're not saying that he is the next Vardy.
What we're saying is the best bargains we've ever signed were from non-league, were from French Division 2, were from the Championship at times. We got Madison from the Championship. We got Fofana from the bottom end of League One. We look at these places for bargain hunting. That is what when we were at our best, is what we did best. So, this looks like we're going back to that model. And, what's not to like about that?
By the way, there are over 260 watching on YouTube. So if you can drop a like on the video, that would be much appreciated. Make sure to subscribe as well. If I heard, if you like this video, we are 1% more likely to get Richard Kone. So hit the like button.
Can we not pump the Football Content Awards again?
We will at the end. We will. Yeah, we will at the end. Yeah, we're nearly there. We're We're not doing a full hour tonight. So there's a comment here from Chiro the Churro, who said, if we buy him for 3.5, we basically traded Cody for Kone. A steal, in my opinion. I do also feel like, Manny, that this is why I haven't actually, which is very rare for me, I haven't been moaning about the lack of transfer activity for two reasons. Number one, because I think our squad is good enough as it is. But two, it almost feels like we've been waiting for this Mads and Ndidi stuff to happen, and then we can actually start making some moves.
Well, I mean, it's important to remember that we have PSR requirements, so we have to basically raise 40. I'm guessing something like 40 to 50 million pounds. So we have to have that net as our result. So if we want to spend on top of that, if we want to spend 10 million, then we're probably going to have to raise 50, 60 million in sales. And obviously this is going to be the first step of doing that. We're expecting Bilal to go at some point, but we understand we have to sell, but you have to sell at the right price. If you keep underselling, we're going to end up having to sell an extra player. If we get £10 million less for Mads and £10 million less than Bilal than we ideally wanted, that means another player or two is going to have to go that ideally didn't need to have to go if you negotiated harder. So it is really important to get those transfer fees up. And we have to understand as a fan base that we have to raise that money somehow, some way. But I would like to do it with the least number of outgoings as possible. And then if we do sell a third or fourth player, say if we sold a Luke Thomas or even a Casey, if somebody came in with a bid, then that is our money to use to spend with. But in the worst case scenario, believe it or not, I mean, Richard Kone, I expect to be able to afford no matter what. But even if we can't get that deal over the line, no matter what, I still think we've got enough as it stands with 0 signings to go straight back up.
See, this comment from Anil, Manny, I actually understand why we haven't got any loans yet. And I think it's because, what a club like Leicester bringing in loans, other than, the odd occasion, I think usually you would bring in maybe the younger players from the bigger clubs, right? Like with Callum Doyle, we brought him on loan. I actually think the reason we're not doing that is because they would just rather use our youth. So why bring Callum Doyle in when you've got Bade Aluko, who can play on the left or at centre back?
Why block the route for one of our kids, huh? With someone else's kid?
So I think if we could loan somebody who is an instant, improves our starting 11, I think we would do that. But I just don't think, for a backup player, I don't think there's any point in loaning one in, developing their player.
There's a sneaky middle line between the two, which is either a loan with an option to buy or a loan with a possibility of buying, like if you can't agree a deal. So the reason I want Eli Junior Krupi is I think he's 19, about to turn 20. He is a future star of world football, I'm sure of it. But Bournemouth just paid £15 million, but he might not play for them. So I would like to loan that player because I think he could fall in love with being at Leicester. And in the Premier League, we could actually sign him from Bournemouth. He might want to stay at us. Got guaranteed starting place. Having got promoted with us, I'm sure he'd love playing with Abdul, with Steffi, with J Unit as well. So I think there's a chance you could get a young player and convince him to stay after that loan season. But if it's just going to be a loan player in a certain position, like we need a striker, fine. But it shouldn't be a centre-back if it means that Aluko doesn't get game time. Or at midfield if it means that Page doesn't get game time. Or we definitely don't need a winger at all. So you don't want to block those players. So look at your squad, decide where you have a shortfall, which is clearly at striker, and then that is where I would consider any loan signing. But if it is a loan signing, I always look to have a loan signing with a player I would like to retain their services in the future, and it's about trying to make them as part of the furniture.
Let's end it with this, mate. There is an update there on the right-hand side. So this is our business, really, the notable business so far. Begovic in on a free. Wilfred Ndidi out 9 million. Kone out 2.5 million. Mads Hermansen out 18 million. So what do you make of it, mate? I mean, how would you sum up our summer transfer window so far with 4 days till the season starts?
It was going well until the Mads transfer fee, and that's the blip. Everything else is good. Cody sale. Now I love Wilf, but he's on a high earner as well. That's a useful amount of money to meet those. We have to make that shortfall I mentioned. So we know that Mads is going to go. There's no problem with that. But I would rather hang on to him for a week or two and say, look, we've had a change of heart. 18 million. I don't know what we were thinking. We lost it with temporary insanity. This price is not. And I don't. You know what? If you don't want to come back with 20, I mean at least 25. Like even that is too cheap. I would say, do you know what? We'll take the points hit on PSR. We've done it before. You're not going to have him for super cheap. When we get in the Premier League, that keeper would be worth 40 million.
Come on, man.
And it might end up with a something and a off. I think that's how the conversation...
Don't be ridiculous. Because the thing with
you want to play... This is... You've got to... Look, you can't ask for tougher negotiating
No,
without
that's not what I'm saying.
Tougher negotiating.
That's not what I'm saying. Listen, right, so what I'm trying to say to you is, we don't know. The story is we don't know whether Mads going, how detrimental that actually is to PSR, right? But let's just say the option is Mads goes for 18. I'm doing my fishing thing here. I'm going to fish an answer from you, right? The options are Mads goes for 18 or you breach and you get 6 points. You're choosing the 6 points.
No, you don't know if I'm bluffing or not. That's the point. It's negotiating.
No, I'm asking you.
Well, it doesn't matter what's in my mind. It's about what you put in the mind of your opponent, right?
Okay,
it's about what it's a negotiating tactic. You've got to make them believe that you're willing to take the PSR hit, not that you're desperate not to take the PSR hit. That is why the transfer fee goes down. If they believe the opposite, like these guys are crazy, they'll take the hit. They're just not going to sell the player. He's got 3 years left. So if you want him, you're going to have to pay. If you make them believe that 18 million is 30. It's a negotiating skill. You've got to look at the guy opposed to you and believe that they're mad enough not to sell Mads and take the hit instead.
Okay, here is the link in the YouTube chat. So there is a Google Docs link in the live chat. Please, if you enjoy watching BTG, if you don't enjoy watching BTG, why the hell are you still fucking here, right? There's over 250 of you on YouTube, 500 in total. So if you don't enjoy it, then why are you here? Unless it's like a hate watch. But there is a link in the description, in the live chat. There it is. If you want to nominate BTG for best new content creator. By the way, Manny, I noticed today we're actually coming up to the 1 year birthday of the channel.
Really?
It is the 16th of August. Is the first birthday? Yeah. So there we go.
You got anything lined up, planned?
No.
At least free. We've got to give some freebies to the people.
Yeah, we'll give some.
Like the club give them a pint. We'll give them some free memberships. Yeah, but I know you're not going to give them anything that costs money. We know what happens when you have to put your money in. Those cobwebs on your wallet are there for a reason, right?
Match bingo. Yeah. But yeah, if you do enjoy watching BTG, you can click the link. Even if you've nominated us once before, you can do it again. So just fill in the docs link. Remember, best new content creator. You'll need to put in the channel name, but the most important thing is putting in the channel link, because some people will call us BTG, some will call us Blue Tinted Glasses. Just use the link, the YouTube link, and that'll be great. And if we do get nominated and we're invited to the awards, then we could do like a live stream from there or something. That'd be pretty cool, huh? We could go in.
No, I'm going to get hammered.
We could go in. No, we could go and like throw eggs at Rory Jennings or something.
Yeah. Bring some of those high profile clowns on. We'll teach them a thing or two about ball.
Or all these Championship fans who have been predicting Leicester to finish. Did you see the one? 12th.
You know the one I'm disappointed in, and I'm calling them out. The Second Tier Podcast. I like you guys. You guys do a really good job. You know, your prediction for Leicester's this season.
Did Manny just say a good job? Oh my god!
Absolutely stinks. What do they say? 7th for Leicester. Honestly,
sorry, I'm still shocked because you just said you like them.
Being polite. No,
you don't like them, do you?
No, I don't mind them. They're nice guys. They come across as nice guys. I don't know them, but they come across as nice guys.
Isn't one a Derby fan and one a Coventry fan? I swear it's something like that.
No, one of my best mates is a Forest fan. Unfortunately, you know what? Better banter.
Yeah.
Better banter. Look, I mean, it would mean a lot to us seriously if you guys could make your effort and vote for us for the content awards. I think you're allowed to vote more than once. So if you're hardcore enough, please vote again. And I want to ask out there, where's Costa? Where's Costa been? Has he voted? He definitely voted 10 times. So, go on.
They clarified it's 7th without a deduction, by the way. Like, at least the other guys were like, oh, well, they're going to get a points deduction, so I'll factor that in.
How many subscribers do they have, Second Tier Podcast? Just for that, BTG are going to have to get higher.
I don't know. They're mostly on podcast platforms like Spotify and stuff. But I tell you what, I respect.
They don't watch us. They don't know about. They haven't seen Fatawu for a year. They haven't seen Monga play. They haven't seen the best of Ndidi for a while. They're thinking, oh, Vardy's gone. It's like the level one. You just scratch the surface. You say Vardy's gone. They haven't signed anyone apart from a 38-year-old keeper. They're going to get a points deduction 7th. That just means you don't have an intimate knowledge of the playing personnel that we still have, or the coach and what they're trying to do with this squad.
I respect the rage baiting that they do for clicks, because they see Leicester City, the big dogs, drop down to the Championship, and they think, "Oh, imagine all the clicks we'll get for pissing them off." So it was the same last. No, it was the same last summer, 2 years ago.
Hey, they slated us. TV2, let's call them out. Let's have it.
Well, one of them's all right. I can't remember his name. It's the boss man who's the knob. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Don't call him. But... Well, how about if you don't call him that? We might be able to get him on. Now that you do that, you got no chance. This is how not to negotiate.
No. If only pussies back out of streams because they got called a knob. Yeah, only pussies would back out.
Come on, Second Tier Podcast. Let's have it out with you. Well, why Leicester won't finish 7th?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Right. So as I said, the link is in the chat if you want to nominate for nominators for best new content creator. That'd be great. I did say before that if it happens, me and Manny would go matching suits or whatever.
Mate, please. I don't wear polyester. As a cheap gag, though.
I was going to wear a tracksuit, so that's the only suit I wear. A tracksuit.
A new BTG Oasis style tracksuit. I like.
By the way, has your shirt arrived yet?
Tomorrow, my shirt is arriving tomorrow. I've seen that the King Power one's been released though in the club shop, so you can.
No, that's the women's.
Is it? But I think you can still get. You can get both though. You can get without a. No.
Yeah, the women's. Yeah, the men's isn't out with the King Power.
Why are you looking at women's clothing?
I'm not. I'm just correcting you, which I love to do.
Just checking.
Right. There we go. We're all sorted. We're all done. They are the latest headlines. We will be back live Saturday because I'm doing a watch along. It will be Wrexham versus Southampton. I'm here for the Wrexham.
How's that one going to go? How's that one going to go, Wrexham?
Southampton 2-0. Southampton 2-0.
Well, Joel, we want Wrexham, don't we? Because if we have a points deduction and Southampton are likely to be there or thereabouts, any points that they drop, even early in the season, our 9-point suspected reduction could get reduced to 7 or 6 pretty quickly. So come on, Wrexham.
Yeah. Come on.
That's it. Connor Cody. I can see it now. Danny Ward, man of the match. Connor Cody, header, winner, 1-0.
No. Quick question here, because it's a big occasion. Fuck the first game of the season, because on Sunday during the watch along, Luke is going to be eating the ghost chili pepper, whatever it's called, the Carolina Reaper, one of them two. So I'm gonna message him tonight, and I'm gonna specify a rule. I want to see him unseal the packaging live, because I don't trust that guy to just pull out a normal fucking pepper or something, or a fake chili and pretend it's a thingy. So I want to see him unpackage it live.
He will not be able to fake what's coming.
I feel
you're faking that.
I feel sorry for his toilet the next day. That's all I'll say. But there we go. Right, we are all done. Thanks to Manny for joining me. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Make sure to hit a like on the video. Still over 230 of you here on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, go over to YouTube and hit a like and hit a subscribe. We will be back, like I said, Saturday, early kickoff, 12:30 for Wrexham versus Southampton.
Don't forget to vote, you lazy lot. Don't be lazy. Vote. If you haven't voted, you're a joke. You're a disgrace. Vote. What's wrong with you?
I did a similar call out last night, and I'm about to do it again. Let's have a look at the video. 91 likes, and there's over 220 people still in the video.
It's just lazy. How can you not just bother to pick up a mouse, move it to the right point, and hit a click? I mean, why would you not do that? What kind of it says a lot about you if you don't like this video. So I'd encourage you to like it and be a good person.
And if you hit the like video, then Manny will come to your house and show you how to take it raw.
Definitely not. Definitely won't happen.
Quick refresh, and that 91 is gone to 93. Not good enough, people. Get the like in whilst the credit rolls. Big shout out to our sponsors, Match Bingo, who we'll be playing along with on Sunday for the watch. I'll do it on Saturday.
200 grand.
200 grand. Massive thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football, and bingo and combining them into one amazing app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester City game in the upcoming season. Click that link in the description or via the QR code on screen.